I know, another video today, whatever, school's over, so I actually have some free time, and I'm in a mood of discussion. Anyways, so I'm on Facebook, and then I see this post from a page I like, Steampunk. I'll post the image in the description, and it's a Goodreads review page for Bram Stoker's Dracula. And it's some reviews by some tryhards. So it's shit like, basically bitching about how it's so boring and written in old English language, and how, like, you should totally read Twilight, this is the worst vampire book ever kind of bullshit. And I'm like, fucking tryhards. But then in the comments, I'm seeing stuff how much they, like, oh my god, I hate, all this crap, bitching about it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, fuck the tryhards, and they're saying how, and the people in the comments are saying how good this book is, and I'm like, okay, hold on a second. That book was not good. Now, I'll just preface this before you say, oh, you're so modern bullshit. No, no, no. When I tried to read this is back during my classics kick. When I was in grade 11, I was like, I want to read all the classics. Well, not the stupid, boring-ass classics. The classics that are kind of dark and creepy and interesting and stuff like that. So I read a bunch of the Sherlock Holmes stories. I read both of the Alice books. I read The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I still read a lot of, I read a lot of Poe, still do. Same thing with H.P. Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft is one of my favorite authors of all time. So it's not that I can't read classic literature or the writing style or whatever, because, like, if you read The Picture of Dorian Gray, it's even more, like, flowery and big words and everything else than Dracula ever is. My problem is with the characters in this story. It bugs the crap out of me. So first of all, it starts out really good and really interesting with Jonathan Harker stuck in Dracula's castle and all this other crap. It's really cool, really interesting. But then it goes back to London, and it focuses more on Mina Harker and her best friend Lucy. It's all about obsessing. It's like, oh, Lucy got 3 men to propose to her, and all this other crap. It's like, oh, I want to be a good wife, and it just bland ass, freaking one-dimensional characters, and even the male characters, when, like, Lucy's dying from vampires sucking her blood and everything else, they're all like, oh, we're such good men for donating blood, and you're a good, strong man, and fucking freaking Van Helsing is saying this bullshit, and it's so bland and boring and stupid and one-dimensional. I was like, oh, this is so stupid. Okay, I just gotta get through this. And I'll go to the good stuff. And I was like, I just gotta tell you this. A third of the book later, I'm like, fuck this shit. This boring ass, bland ass, like, oh, I'm gonna be such a good wife. Oh, and then Jonathan, I want to be such a good husband, and these men were such good whatever. And I'm like, shut the fuck up and get to on with the story. I just couldn't stand it anymore, and I gave up and stopped reading it because it was just annoying the crap out of me. So, no, it's not a good book. Well, I don't know how the rest of the book is, but that part is, like, there's some cool things happening in there, but they're so small and spaced so far in between. It's kind of like, can I just get on with it? So, no, I don't consider it a good book. There are a lot of the classics that are a lot better than Dracula, but aren't as famous. Like The Picture of Dorian Gray, fantastic book. Sherlock is quite popular, very good. If you're a fan of Alice in Wonderland, I really recommend you read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Both are very fun. They're a lot better than any of the movies, and the movies get so much wrong. But anyways, H.P. Lovecraft, if you want something creepy and horror, H.P. Lovecraft. Holy crap, forget about Poe, H.P. Lovecraft is the way to go. That rhymed. But yeah, just I do think that people need to read more classics, but Dracula is a really shitty example because it's just not a good book. Because it's just bland, one-dimensional characters. And talking about how good and perfect people and how brave Jonathan was, and, like, it's just so, like, it's not actiony, it's not cool, it's not. Oh yeah, you know how Van Helsing is depicted oftentimes in more modern stuff as this badass whatever. He's a doctor who is in his senior years, and is, like, the most boring and bland character ever. So, yeah.